Most people believe success is a destination, a moment where struggle ends and comfort begins, but Stoic philosophy dismantles this illusion immediately, teaching that success is not found at the end of hardship, but forged through it, shaped by discipline, sustained by self-control, and measured by the strength of one's character rather than the height of one's achievements. The Stoics lived in a world far harsher than ours, a world of wars, exile, disease, slavery, and political betrayal. Yet they did not complain about reality or demand fairness from life. Instead, they trained their minds to meet reality as it was, understanding that the only lasting advantage a human being can possess is mastery over their own thoughts, desires, and reactions. Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by power yet constantly reminded of mortality and loss, wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, meaning that success begins internally long before it is ever reflected externally. And this is why Stoicism places discipline at the center of a meaningful life. Because without discipline, ambition turns chaotic, talent goes to waste, and freedom becomes an illusion disguised as choice. If this way of thinking resonates with you and you want to continue sharpening your mindset through timeless philosophy, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay until the end, because Stoic ideas reveal their true power only when they are understood deeply and practiced consistently. Stoicism teaches that self-control is not about denying pleasure entirely, but about refusing to become a slave to it, because every unchecked desire slowly weakens the will, and a weakened will cannot carry the weight of responsibility, purpose, or long-term vision. Most people are governed by impulse, reacting emotionally to every inconvenience, chasing pleasure when it appears, avoiding discomfort whenever possible, and then wondering why their lives feel unstable and directionless. But the Stoic understands that stability does not come from controlling circumstances, which are always changing, but from controlling the inner response to those circumstances. Epictetus taught that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them, and this insight alone reshapes the meaning of success, because it means peace, focus, and clarity are available to anyone willing to discipline their perceptions. The Stoic does not wait to feel motivated, because motivation is fleeting and unreliable. Instead, they rely on routine, reason, and commitment, showing up even when enthusiasm fades, understanding that consistency achieved through discipline will always outperform short bursts of passion driven by emotion. Discipline, in Stoic philosophy, is built quietly through repetition, through doing what must be done even when it feels dull, uncomfortable, or unrewarding, because the Stoics knew that the mind grows weaker when constantly entertained and stronger when challenged. This is why they practiced voluntary discomfort, choosing simplicity over excess, restraint over indulgence, and silence over unnecessary speech. Not because comfort is evil, but because dependence on comfort makes a person fragile. A disciplined individual does not panic when things become difficult, because difficulty is familiar territory, something they have trained for internally long before it appears externally. Seneca warned that a life without challenge produces a soft mind incapable of enduring pressure, and this is why Stoicism reframes hardship as preparation rather than punishment, seeing obstacles not as barriers to success, but as the very tools through which success is built. Self-control also defines how a Stoic interacts with others, especially in moments of conflict, insult, or misunderstanding, because Stoicism accepts human imperfection without bitterness. People will act selfishly, speak carelessly, betray trust, and disappoint expectations. And none of this is surprising to the Stoic, who understands that allowing others to control your emotional state is a form of self-betrayal. When provoked, the Stoic pauses. When criticized, they reflect. When praised, they remain grounded, knowing that external opinions are unstable and fleeting. This emotional restraint is not coldness, but wisdom, because it prevents wasted energy and preserves inner clarity, allowing the Stoic to act deliberately rather than react impulsively. Most people measure success by how they are perceived, but Stoicism measures success by how one behaves when perception offers no reward and no one is watching. True Stoic success is alignment between thought, action, and principle, a state where a person does what is right, not because it is praised, but because it is right, and where effort is given fully without attachment to outcome. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself repeatedly that one can do everything correctly and still face failure, and that this does not diminish virtue, because virtue lies in the effort itself, not in the result. This acceptance of uncertainty frees the Stoic from anxiety, because once you stop demanding guarantees from life, you gain the courage to act decisively without fear of loss. Discipline keeps the Stoic moving forward. Self-control keeps emotions in check, and philosophy provides the framework that prevents despair when things do not go as planned. The Stoics believed that most suffering is created internally through resistance to reality, through wishing life were easier instead of preparing oneself to be stronger. And this is why Stoic success feels quiet and understated, lacking the drama of constant emotional highs and lows. A disciplined mind does not seek constant stimulation or validation. It seeks clarity, order, and purpose, understanding that a meaningful life is not built through intensity, but through steadiness. Day after day, the Stoic refines their character, knowing that habits shape identity and identity shapes destiny. Each moment of restraint strengthens the will, each moment of patience sharpens judgment, and each moment of effort compounds into something far greater than immediate pleasure ever could. In the end, Stoicism teaches that the greatest achievement a human being can reach is self-mastery, because wealth can be lost, status can be taken, and success defined by external measures can vanish overnight. But character, once forged through discipline and self-control, remains intact, regardless of circumstance. This is why Stoic philosophy endures across centuries, because it does not promise an easy life, but a resilient one, not a painless existence, but a meaningful one. If you wish to continue building this kind of inner strength and applying Stoic wisdom to modern life, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and stay connected, because these ideas grow more powerful the more they are lived rather than merely heard. Success through the Stoic lens is not about dominating the world, but about governing yourself, not about avoiding struggle, but about meeting it with calm resolve, and not about becoming more than others, but about becoming more than the version of yourself that once surrendered to impulse, fear, and comfort.